Hi, my name is Mindy Marques. I'm executive editor of the Miami Herald, and I am sitting here today with Nancy San Martin, our interactive editor for the Miami Herald, and Jose Iglesias, who is a videographer for El Nuevo Herald. They have just finished a year working on a documentary, which is a first for the Miami Herald, chronicling the devastation in Haiti and how that country tries to recover after the worst natural disaster in the Western Hemisphere. Nancy, talk to me a little bit about why a documentary.
Well, soon after we saw the images and the stories coming in from Haiti, we realized that this story was going to require more than traditional news coverage. And so that's how the idea for the documentary came along. And we partnered with our sister paper, El Nuevo Herald, and Jose Iglesias obviously joined me on this.
Jose, can you talk to me a little bit about the challenges of going from what traditionally is a short form for the newspaper and online audience as opposed to this 1 hour documentary?
Well, it was certainly a different way to tell a story. I wasn't really used to shooting these long-term projects. Like you said before, normally we have to tell a story in 3 minutes, and this was a story that you couldn't possibly tell in 3 minutes. I had to make a lot of adjustments along the way, not only in the way I shot things, but in the way I viewed the whole project. I had to get off that quick 3 minute mode that I've been in for a while, prior to the earthquake.
Can you talk to me a little bit about, just the personal part of trying to tell this story, which obviously was very difficult from the outset, and I don't think really got much easier as the year wore on?
Well, unlike Nancy, I had never been to Haiti before, so I really didn't know what to expect. The biggest shock for me was, this disaster is unfolding in front of you, and it's very difficult to look to the viewfinder and not be touched by what's happening.
Nancy, you decided to tell this story through a couple of characters in Haiti. Can you tell me a little bit about some of the key characters in the documentary?
Well, 2 of the characters that we followed throughout the year were earthquake victim survivors, 2 young Haitians. One is Emmanuel Lundy and Wilfred. And Wilfred is the male character. He is a young father, married, and Emmanuel is a young single woman, professional. And they're very special people. I mean, what we saw through their eyes is the determination to pick up the pieces and move on and rebuild a new life, as hard as it was for them, not wallowing in the circumstances that they were in, but rather deciding that, things happen and life goes on. And it was a really admirable to see them do this through the year.
What are you hoping in terms of the reaction to the documentary?
Well, this is a historical account, and really this is we made it for a national audience. Obviously here in South Florida, we've been covering Haiti for a long time, so people here, a large segment of our readership, knows a lot about Haiti, but that's not true for the rest of the nation. So our goal was to educate people about the country's history and shed light on the fact that the earthquake is not the first obstacle that this country has had to deal with. They've had to deal with a lot over the last 200 years. This just marks a new chapter in Haiti's history. So it's really a look at Haiti's past, what it's currently going through, and what the future holds, in light of the fact that they still have so much to deal with. The cholera epidemic, a political crisis that has yet to be resolved. The future really is a question mark.
Jose, can you talk to me a little bit about how you managed to cope personally with, watching the story unfold and chronicling it?
Well, it was very difficult for me emotionally because, like I said before, you actually have to film some scenes that you would immediately turn away from. At first, what you want to do is you want to shut down, because what's happening in front of you is just so horrific. It was just overwhelming. I couldn't close my eyes. And the smell, yeah, you could put a handkerchief over your nose or put some Vicks Vapor Rub under it to try to alleviate the smell, but it was just too much. And the only way I could operate sometimes was to turn on my iPod.
Nancy, what are you hoping that folks are going to get from the documentary?
Well, what we hope is that this will provoke reflection. We all know now that a disaster of this magnitude, the death and the destruction that came as a result of this earthquake, could have been prevented, and that the future, as I said before, remains a question mark for Haiti. So we hope that it provokes reflection and some action so that something like this never happens again, and so that Haiti can finally emerge and be the nation that it wants to be.
We're going to be hosting a public screening of Nou Bouke, which is Creole for We're Tired, on Tuesday, January 11th at 6:30. It'll be held at the Little Haiti Cultural Center. The documentary also will air nationally across PBS stations and locally on WPBT Tuesday at 9 o'clock. I hope you'll join us.